Hey everyone, it's been a while since I last posted a video. I was in Japan and Hong Kong for a month, and after I came back I haven't really been able to play with this hobby. But just want to do a quick video on what I bought when I was in Japan. I bought the MR-04 Evo 2 and it was pretty good price because you don't have to pay tax, and I think it came around 200, maybe 210 USD. And here's what it looks like. And when I opened it, I think there was something wrong with the motor. It was really slow. And I reached out to Kyoso America, and they sent me a new motor and a new IC board. And then it ran okay, much faster. And I think there was a recall for it, so they were pretty quick. I was able to get a new motor and everything in less than a few days. Even though I bought it in Japan, they still did the warranty on it, because usually they don't. But they said it was like a gray market thing, so they were able to do it. So 200 something is my first MR. Compared to the Evo, I feel like this one handles not as well on slick surface, which should be the case since it's not all-wheel drive. But since I usually play on hardwood floor, and it will spin out a lot, but with the all-wheel drive, it really grips a lot better. So I think this is more for track use with like grippy surface. And when I was in Japan, I spent around, I think around 400 total, which is a lot for a Mini Z, but everything is just a lot cheaper, like almost 50% cheaper. I bought a bunch of tires. They were like 536. I think after the tax refund, it's like $4, less than $4 for four, and you get those for like $10 in the States. So I would say 50% off. And I bought some springs for the MR-04, some screws. I mean, because you lose them all the time. And then I bought this box also. I think it was like $2. Everything just so cheap in it, but when you buy so many parts together, it adds up. And I have different other parts. I was hoping that some of the MR-03 parts would fit on the 04. And I think I did some research, and they said some parts would fit and some parts you just have to wait. But they did have some parts just for the MR-04, like the springs, and I bought some new wheels. This is like $1, like that is cheap. $1, and then you get the whole set for like $2, and then different wheels, wide, and those are just something you need anyway. You can stock up and use it later. And that's one box of parts, and I bought other parts like grip tape, bought some tires for my buggy, and then some batteries. That's like $4 or $5, and then tire tape, like $3, and then some LED lights. And here's the receipt. I think total was like 53,000 yen, and it was I think the rate was 1 to 140 ish, 145 when I was there. So still pretty good rate. And I bought a couple bodies, and they're like 15, 14, around 15 USD a piece. And I have I think it's 110 wheelbase. Hopefully it'll fit on the MR-04, because they don't have that wheelbase set up for it yet. And I bought some different differential and shaft for it to see if I can extend it. But the R8 body, just a couple bodies to bash around or just to practice on. And then I bought this auto scale. I mean, I have this car myself, so you gotta get a 240Z if you have one in real life, you know. And this might be, I'll try to put this on the MA020 or 030 Evo, and hopefully it'll clear the front, since the motor is mounted higher. But it's quite nice. I have the LED for it. I just have to install it. And then I have the Mon version. They have it at that time. I think this is kind of expensive. Even it's cheaper over there. I think it's still like $40 for this, but the realism or the scale is just high quality. Like, even if you try to paint it yourself, it's not possible to get that much detail without spending a lot of time, which makes $40 reasonable. And I'm gonna try to use this on the MR-04. I think the wheelbase is probably not gonna look perfect. I mean, I'm just trying it out. So that's pretty much it for what I got in Japan, and it took me over an hour, a little bit over an hour to get everything, because you have to find the parts, even though I have a whole list with all the parts number, and it just takes time when they have a whole wall of it. And I did record a video of all the parts and what the store looks like, and it just, I mean, many other YouTubers went to that store to get parts in Tokyo, and that's the famous spot, and And overall, the trip was fun. You have a lot of different model shops, diecast, or anime action figures. It's just a whole building worth of them. They have arcade, and if, when the dollar is strong, it just everything seems so much cheaper. And you were just spending maybe 100 USD, and you can spend so much. You can buy so much there, even just for entertainment, food, whatever. But maybe I live in a place that has high cost of living, so if you don't, then it might be just as much as where you live, or a little more expensive. But in California, this is cheap. It's like everything is 30 to 50% cheaper to us since everything's so expensive here. But to wrap it up, I'm gonna try to put all this upgrade together and maybe test it on my backyard track. And I'll be trying to finish the other RC stuff. But I did see the Arma Grom brushless set, the Mojave. So I'm gonna try to get that too, since I'm starting to like smaller scale stuff, even though I have like really large scale. But it just, when you don't have a lot of space, you can just play it more often. Versus bringing out like an X Max and trying to find a place to run it. But when I run this MR-04, the problem does exist. Like you can see the spring; they are not like sitting perfectly. And whenever you hit something, the whole arm just like kind of come out. And even then, like right now, you just gently press it, it would just come right out. And I think you really have to find a aftermarket parts or whatever to fix this problem. And I don't want to do some kind of homemade mod to make it fit. Like you can put some. I see people putting different things to make it tighter so it doesn't come out. But it is a issue with this. But I guess when parts come off like that, then it's least likely to break, because all the impact and force are distributed to other places, or just came out. So there's that, and I think MR-04 is pretty good compared to the MA-030. Like the turning radius is much tighter. I can see how the MR series is better for track, and it's just more fluid. But I still like my MA-030. I think they have a place for each one. And even if you're not drifting with the all-wheel drive, you can still get a really good grip on a smooth surface. Because when I do smooth surface with the MR-0 or the 04, it would just spin up. Like, it doesn't matter. You have to go really slow. But with the all-wheel drive, you can just like really full throttle on it, and then it will still grip. The tail might slide out a little bit, but you can really correct it by itself. So there's that, and I'm gonna work on it right now. See you on the next video.